What's up everyone, it's Underwaterfisch, and today we're going to be reviewing how I made my 5 most highly requested rugs using the Touch of Magic tool. These are all my unique designs. I did get the inspiration for this road rug from Dreamlight Valley fans' page, but I put my own unique twist on it. If you don't know what the Touch of Magic tool is, make sure to check out my YouTube channel. I have a whole video that outlines everything you need to know to be successful when using the Touch of Magic tool. It really opens up the door for so many different creations to be added into your valley. I've made boardwalks, I've made roads, there's so many different possibilities, and I absolutely love this tool. I like to tell people to not be afraid to just try something. If it doesn't work, you can just delete it, and that's okay, because sometimes you end up creating this wonderful thing that you absolutely love, and if you didn't try, you would have never made it. So let's take a look at my top 5 highly requested tutorials for my rug designs, and make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. The first thing you're going to need to know is you're going to have to craft these rugs. To craft a rug, you're going to need seaweed, so head to the beach and make sure you fish outside of the circles. Have a fishing buddy with you so that you have a better chance of getting extra materials, and then collect some seaweed. You'll need at least 4 seaweeds because you're going to have to make fiber, and 1 seaweed makes 5 fiber. In total, you need 20 fiber to make 1 rug. It's important to note that you will need to craft a new rug every time you want to place a rug. So it's one design for as many rugs as you have crafted. For our first design, let's take a look at how to make this beach boardwalk. I like to find a clear, wide open space where I can do the designs on my rugs, and the reason is because the grass sometimes gets in the way of the designs that you're doing. You can only zoom out so much and only see so much, and because of that, I like to decorate on Dazzle Beach where there's no grass to get in the way. To start customizing your rug, you're going to go to the Furniture Edit menu, select Customize, and Add New. Then you're going to be able to select the basic rug design and start your creation. You will do this for every new design that you make. I always like to start with changing the base color and then work from there. So we're going to choose the cube at the very bottom, select the topmost cube after that for the material, and go down to the wood option. Then we can use the rotate tool so that we can make this look more like wood slats. You can change the size of it. As you get smaller, you can see more lines, and it makes it a little bit easier to create those lines in between each wood slab. For the coloring, you can really choose any color that you want that you think is best for the wood look. Personally, I like to try and lighten the wood because it gives it more of a beachy vibe, but you can do any color that you like here. And remember, it is two-toned, so you can give it an accent color to really highlight the wood lines. Here are the 2 colors I used to make my boardwalk. Now that we've chosen our colors, we can turn down the gloss and make sure the metal look is off so there's no shine. Now we add the lines in between the wood slats. You're going to add a shape and find the rectangle. Once it's added, rotate it until it lines up with the wood lines. Personally, I find it easiest if you take the rectangle to the edge of the rug to try and line up the edges and then go from there. You might have to have a little patience with rotating because it can be kind of difficult sometimes. Once you have that in place, you can go to the cube edit option and select the multiplier option. This way you don't have to keep adding all of those rectangles over and over and over again. Before you move on to the next step, if you want to change the size of the wood slats, you're going to want to increase or decrease the size of the rectangles. After that, you're going to want to mirror it so that again, you don't have to keep adding them and it's going to already be lined up. You're going to duplicate this 2 more times. In total, you want 4 rectangle lines. For the top 2 layers, it might be good to change them to some bright, crazy color so you know exactly which 2 you're going to be making transparent. We can see that there's still lines in between each of those dashes. So grab the second layer up and cover up the first line so you can't see those dashes anymore and it's one straight line. The bottom 2 layers you're going to want to make look like the sand, so pick the color you feel matches the sand the best. Select the 3rd layer from the bottom and make it to where you have a small line that is going to be the start of the slits in between the slats. Then go into the cube edit and select the snippet to make it transparent. Then go to the top layer and do the exact same thing. It is important which order these lines are because if you have the transparent ones underneath the non-transparent ones, the transparency is just not going to work. And there we have it. That's how you make the boardwalk. You can change the size of the slats, so all you have to do is make the rectangles closer to each other and the slats become smaller. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel channel for more content like this. Let's move into the next one and make some water. This one is so multifunctional because you can make a pool, you can make a pond, you can do so many different things with water, and honestly there's so many different ways to create this. This is one way that I found that personally I like to make water. We start off with choosing the material. This is the material that I like to use best, but feel free to play around with the different material options to find the one that you like. I chose this one because it gives it a secondary look as though there's possibly something underneath the water. There's only one color to choose on this material, and so pick the blue one that you feel fits best. Once you have your color selected, make sure the metal is on, and then you can adjust the gloss to make it as reflective as you prefer. And that's how you make water. You can then decorate the outside, use foliage to cover the edges so it gives it a little bit more of a round look. There's many different ways that you can decorate this. Let me know in the comments if you used this method or if you used a different one and how you made yours. Our third rug is grass, and it's going to be the easiest one to make yet. I use this in my sunroom, but you can use it in your garden, outside, inside, in so many different places. When choosing the material for this one, you're going to want to choose this purpley looking carpet. This is another design that is two-toned, so you can play around with the different green options to give it more depth. And here are the green tones that I chose. Keep the metal option off and adjust the glossiness to your desired gloss. Since grass does have a bit of a dewy look to it, I wanted to keep a little bit of gloss on it, but not so much gloss because you lose the depth once you have too much gloss on it. And there's our third rug. Pretty simple, pretty easy to make, and multifunctional. Let me know in the comments if you think this looks like grass. For our fourth rug, we're going to be making a candy themed rug. I put this inside of my Hansel and Gretel sweet house, and I think it goes perfectly there. To start, you're going to choose the same material that we used with the grass rug. It's that purpley carpet look. Then you're going to choose the color combination that you think works best. I recommend turning the metal on because we're going to do that at the end here, and it does give the rug a completely different look altogether. I like to choose a lighter color first and then a darker color as the secondary color so it helps bring out the shadows. Now that we've selected the colors, we can go in and add the motifs. You're going to start with the candy motif, and once you have it placed, you can go into your cube edit menu and multiply it everywhere. You can rotate this or change the size if you want, but you also don't have to. And then go back in and add another motif. Find this sweet mini donut, add it. It automatically places it in the center. You don't want to move it, otherwise it's not going to be centered and it's kind of difficult to put it back where it was. You can reshape this to a larger size, a smaller size, whatever you need to fit the design that you're wanting. Now we can really see that it looks like these are just stickers slapped onto this rug and it doesn't look great. So to fix that, you're going to go in and turn the metal on, and it meshes everything together. And like I mentioned earlier, turning the metal on does make the colors a little bit different, and so I recommend turning the metal on before you choose your colors for this reason. Also, you're going to want to adjust the gloss as it makes it look a little bit more rug-like. That's how you make my sweet house rug. I really think this is a great addition to my Hansel and Gretel house. Let me know if you like this rug or if this was helpful to you. Now for our fifth and final rug, we have this road. Disney Dreamlight Valley is kind of limiting us with the different kind of path options that we can create, so we have to create our own. For this rug, it does require 3 different designs in total, but it's really one of the easier ones to make. Let's start by choosing the material. I like to use this material because it looks a little bit like asphalt when you change the color. Then go in and change the color to either this black or gray. And don't forget to adjust the gloss to the glossiness that you prefer. I like to have a little bit of gloss because there is some shine on asphalt. And you're going to repeat those same 3 steps on all 3 designs. Now go in and add a motif shape. You're going to use this rectangle and it's going to be your best friend doing this. I recommend changing the viewpoint to this angle so that you can see the straight line down the middle. Go into your cube edit menu, select the mirror option. It doesn't look like anything happened, but it's actually layered on top of it right now, and when you move it, you'll see that there are 2 there. You're going to want to space these just far apart enough to make it look like lines in a road, and you can choose whichever distance you want them to be. Next, you're going to change the color of the lines. I changed them to yellow, but I've seen other people do them as white or purple, and I think it looks great. And there it is, your first of 3 designs. Before you move on to the next design, do remember to save that design and start a brand new design. You will have to choose the material and color again, but that's okay, it doesn't take too much time. After you've chosen the material and color, you're going to go in and add that same rectangle motif, move it it to one side so you can continue the lines in the road. Once that's in place, make sure you change the color to the same color you put on the other road. Now you're going to go in and add another square motif, and you're going to make it really big. This is going to be the crosswalk. Drag it down towards the bottom corner, and you're going to end up adding 4 more of those in total. For the crosswalks, I wanted them to be white, so make sure you change the color to the color that you prefer. Then you're going to go into the cube edit menu and you're going to duplicate it. This step is really important because when you duplicate it, it keeps it the same size and shape. This way you're not trying to finagle with it to make it the same size and shape. Then you're just going to drag it down to match the other one that you already have there. It can take different angles sometimes to make sure that it's lined up perfectly, but it's worth it to take that extra time to make sure it is all lined up. Now you're going to do that 2 more times. Mirror it and align it, then drag it, and that's how you make the second rug design. Make sure you save and start a new design for this third one, and then do those same couple of steps. You are again going to add that same familiar rectangle motif so you can continue the lines down the road. Trying to keep it as straight and centered as possible, you're going to move it down to the other end of the rug. Once you have it in the spot you want it, make sure to change the color to that same color you chose in the first 2 designs. Then to add the curvature of the road, you're going to go back into your motifs and choose this curved shape. You're going to move it over right next to the other one so that you can make sure that they are the same size. Once you have it the size that you prefer, you just move it down in a straight line and it creates a curve in the road. And that's it. You've officially made all 3 designs to make a road rug. Creating rug designs like this can sometimes be really tedious, so if you're having a hard time, then don't be afraid to just stop for a little bit and come back to it at a later time when you might be able to handle the tedious work of it. If you get stuck on something or you're struggling, please let me know in the comments and I will do my best to try and help you figure it out. If you've enjoyed this, I would so appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and gave this video a like. I really hope that this has helped you. Thank you so much for watching.